This is Majesty TV Channel Extra. This is where we broaden your perspective on life. Stay tuned.
Majesty Christian Television is the place to promote your events and businesses. For all your social events, weddings, birthday parties, baby naming ceremonies, town hall meetings, anniversaries, engagements and graduations. Also, we can promote your religious events such as revivals, monthly seminars, church services, ordinations, Bible studies and conferences. Majesty TV will bring you good exposure and also connect you with your audience and much more. We put you on radio, television and social media. That means on cable, on ether and online. Our rates are very affordable. For as little as €50, you can start today. Call us now on 0684 606 550 or email us at majestytv@live.com. Majesty TV, the best for all your adverts. See you there.
Join us this and every Sunday at 10 o'clock in the morning at the Rivers of Life Bible Church, where lives are changed by prayer and the Word of God. The address is Rikers Boss number 89A on the first floor. We look forward to welcoming you. Our telephone number is 06260-46432. God bless you and don't be late. Bye.
Church boy, Samsung, here's another one. Boogie down. Baba God, you today do for me. Now waiting I go do to make your heart
call 112, we put him on the speaker, and they give you instructions. Yeah? Now only we have checked if he responds yes or no, but we don't know, we do not know if he is dying. And how you know it? We check the breathing. So when the person is not breathing, then it means he's dying. When the person is breathing, then it means he's not dying. So that's the part when you make the decision, is he dying, yes or no. So you have to check the breathing. But before you can check the breathing, you have to open the airway. And how you do it, I put my flat hand on the forehead, 2 fingers under the chin, and I lift the head up. Why? When you lose your consciousness, what happens? The tongue will block the airway, always. So when you put your flat hand on the forehead and 2 fingers under the chin and you lift the head up and the chin up, the tongue is sits on the jaw, and when you put it up, it will open the airway. You see it here. It opened the airway. Here it blocked, and here the airway is open. And then it's possible that you have a breathing. So when you lose your consciousness, the tongue will always block the airway. But there are situations that person will breathe. Can you think things why people breathing, when people breathing and they left their consciousness? For example, a low blood sugar. So when the blood sugar is low, your consciousness is awake, but there is still a breathing. Why? The heart is beating, their brains get oxygen, so there is a breathing. So with a low blood sugar, a person can breathe. Yeah? Or an epileptic attack from the brain, the heart is not in a problem. The heart will beat, their brains get oxygen, so with an epileptic attack there is a breathing. Or do you know the syndrome of Chardonnay? No? Too lots of alcohol? When a person is too
much alcohol.
yeah, of syndrome of Heineken. But when you drink a lot of alcohol, then you can lose your consciousness. But the heart is beating, the brains get oxygen, so there is still a breathing. Yeah? When you get a bleeding in the head, the same. You get a bleeding, then you lose your consciousness because the high pressure in the brain, then you lose your consciousness, but when you open the airway, the person is still breathing. Yeah? But when the heart is not beating, there is no breathing. Yeah? So that's what you have to do first, open the airway, and then you're gonna check if there is a breathing. And what's normal breathing? How many times we breathe per minute? Yeah, 10 till 20 times each minute. That's normal breathing. So you check if there is a breathing, and also there you have 2 options. Yes, there is a breathing, or no, there is no breathing. And when you think, I don't know if there is a breathing, then we said, there's no breathing. So there is a breathing, or there is not a breathing, and when you twijfelt, doubt, then there is no breathing. Yeah? Necessary. So you lift up you do the chin lift first, and then you check if there is a breathing. So you see the chest rising, or you feel air stream in your head. Then you know, oh, there is a breathing, and then you know, although he's not dead. The situation can sad because he can have a brain problem or another problem. So the ambulance service is underway, but you know in that moment there is a breathing, so we have time, yeah? So we work also on the emergency. When a person collapsed, the first time what I do, I check if there is a breathing. And is there a breathing, then we know, okay, we have time to think, but he's not dying. And when he is not a breathing, that's not a problem, then we can start resuscitation. Yeah? In 40% of the persons who get a heart attack, they start with abnormal breathing. I have an actor, and he will show it us. That's not a normal breathing, but in 40% of the cases, that breathing will start, what I show you. That's a sign of a heart attack. It's not a normal breathing, and I will show it you. And you heard the sound. So you heard the sound. This is not a normal breathing, because a normal breathing is around 12 till 20 times each minute, and you don't hear the sign. We sit here and I don't hear you breathing, or me either. So when a person collapsed and he do this, then you know it's a heart attack. It's always, when you start resuscitation and you heard the same sound, then you have to think one thing. I do good chest compressions, but don't stop. Yeah? Sometimes you start, when you see it, and you start immediately chest compressions, and sometimes he will do this again. Don't stop. Yeah? Only when he pushes you away. Then you stop, but otherwise no. Yeah? Wait for the ambulance and go further, but it means you do a good job. Yeah? So, I will demonstrate again, and I will give you some uitleg. Yeah? Yeah. Sometimes I need to translate it quick and then I can't find the good word. I will explain what I do, and then you tell me, and then you can show me. Yeah? So the first time a person collapsed, what I do, I check the area if it's safe. And when I think it's not safe, I'm away. But when it is safe, what I do, I check his consciousness. How do I do it? I put my hands on the shoulder and I ask, are you alright? Two options. He responds or he didn't respond. And when I think, I don't know, then he didn't respond. When I'm alone, first I call 112. When there is another person, he can call 112. Yeah? Then they ask you, and we put them on the speaker, and then they ask you if they are breathing. First you check. Flat hand on the forehead. 2 fingers under the chin. You lift the head and you put the chin up. It's open the airway, because he loses his consciousness and the tongue will block the airway when I don't do this. Now the airway is open, and I will check for 10 seconds if there is a breathing. And what I do, I put my chick, thank you, chick. I put it for the mouth, and when there is a breathing, I feel an airstream. Yeah? This, I do it 10 seconds, and when I do it, I check if the chest is rising. Yeah? 10 seconds. And in the 10 seconds, I expect 2 breaths. Yeah, that's normal. So there is a breathing, or there is not a breathing. And when I think, I don't know, then there is not a breathing. Yes? Okay, now you can.
If there's no breathing, do you still continue?
What?
If there's no breathing.
Then he died.
He's
we
dead.
start immediately chest compressions. But when there is a breathing, then he's not dying, and then we can wait for the ambulance service. Yeah?
So you don't do the...
No, when there is a breathing, he's not dying. Yeah? So, now you're going to tell me what I have to do, and then you practice. Yeah? Okay, there is a person, he collapsed. What's the first thing what I do?
You call the ambulance.
No,
Or you check
the area.
the area.
If it's safe.
Yes, you
Yeah.
check the area first.
The area is safe. What's what I do now?
Now you kneel down
Yes?
and hold the both shoulder and ask if the person is doing all right.
Yeah. Are you alright? Two options. He responds, then I know he's not dying. Or he don't respond, then I know, okay, maybe he's died. When he not respond, what's what I do the first?
Then you call the
First I call, yeah,
telephone and you call the 112.
yes. Or another person can call 112. I set him on the speaker, and what do I not first now?
You check you two
Flat
hand,
hand?
the flat hand, and then two with the chin lift.
Yeah?
Yeah, you raise it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then put your cheek on to check for 10 seconds if the patient is breathing.
And there I have two options. There is a breathing, or there is not. And when there is not a breathing, it means
No, on the way.
he's died.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, now.
One question. Can you conclude that person is dead because there's no air? Maybe if it's in coma, for example, would
Yeah,
there be air?
Yeah, when he's breathing, he's
Yeah.
not dead, but when he is not breathing, he's dead.
When the person is in coma, does he breathe?
Yes, sometimes, but not always, but sometimes yes. Yeah. But
Okay.
for the resuscitation, it's necessary to make the decision with the breathing. Yeah?
Because when the person is breathing, you don't resuscitate.
Yeah,
That is-
because it means the heart will beat and the brains get oxygen. Okay, you make it more...
Transparent.
Yeah, balanced.
Oh,
Okay,
well.
again.
Okay.
Now, what we're gonna do is we practice this. So we don't put on the chest only this what I show you. Yeah? Are there questions about what let's see you? No questions? Okay. Now, then we will start. I have three people. So 1, 2, 3. Let me see. One here, one there, one there. So it's not in the same room, because then you can say, oh, it's not safe, I go away. But they are collapsed. Now, what we gonna do? Let me show. Let me see. We check if it's safe. Yes. And then.
Safe. Safe. Then
It is safe.
don't kill him.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Shake his shoulder.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
He didn't respond.
Are you okay? You didn't
Oh, first we have to call, right?
Yeah. Then we call. We call 112.
Are you okay?
No response.
Can you call for me? Put it on loudspeaker.
Yeah.
This man is not responding.
Yeah. Then your flat hand on the forehead, the ambulance service 112 will call if they are breathing, and flat hand on and two fingers under the chin and chin rising. Hold it and 10 seconds.
chest.
I check.
Yeah. Yeah, 10 seconds. But your 10 seconds are very short.
Oh, okay.
And check the breathing. Just check with your head that way. Yeah.
There's no breathing.
No breathing. Okay, that means
It's not breathing.
it's a heart attack.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. It looks good, but I will see it again. So stand up and do the same procedure again.
The problem.
Oh, you're not patient to die.
Okay, do it again. Do it again.
Oh, okay.
The same. Just first start with the first thing, check if it's safe.
It's safe.
Yeah.
Gas thing.
And then,
Are you okay?
yeah, we shake his shoulders and we ask, are you alright?
Are you alright? Are you alright?
Can you call through for me?
Then we call 112.
112. Yeah.
And they ask, is there a breathing, madame? So you
I do not know whether there's breathing.
You put your flat hand on the forehead, 2 fingers under the chin, and then check the chest, yes. And when the chest is rising and you feel airstream, it means there is a breathing, it means he's not dead.
This one is breathing.
Not breathing.
Okay. When he's not breathing, it means he's dead, and then we start resuscitation. Okay, thank you. Sounds good. Looks good. Sounds good and looks good. Okay. Okay. Other 3. 1, 2, 3. Same procedure. So the person will collapse, and you see it. First, what you check? First, we check if the area is safe.
Yeah.
What do you mean by safe?
Safe.
If there are no obstacles.
Yeah. When the area is not safe, it means go away. Yeah. But it's safe. What you do now? We sit down and we shake the shoulders. And we will ask,
Are you alright?
are you alright?
Are you alright?
Are you alright?
And shake the shoulder. Yeah.
Both shoulders.
When he don't respond, first we call 112, or another person will call 112. We put it on loudspeaker, and then we put the flat hand on the forehead.
He has a knee problem.
Ah, knee problem.
Yeah.
Flat hand, yeah, but we can try.
Then shake it with one hand.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you alright?
Flat hand on the forehead, the flat hand, the whole hand,
Yeah, yeah.
and you check 10 seconds. No response.
No,
So we
call the ambulance.
have to wait
Oh,
further.
let me call the ambulance. Ping, 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 ping. Ambulance is on the way.
And then the flat hand on the forehead,
Yeah.
2 fingers under the chin, and lift the chin up. Yeah, and then check if there is a breathing.
Yeah.
So you check the chest, he's rising, or you feel airstream against the chin. And then you know he's not dying. Yeah. Okay, sounds good. We do the same procedure again. We check if it's safe. Yeah. It's safe. Now we will check if there is a responding. So we get down and we ask,
Are you okay?
no responding.
Are you okay?
Now responding. And then we have to check the breathing. First we call 112.
Oh, can you call me?
Yeah. We put the flat hand on the forehead, 2 fingers under the chin, and lift the head up.
2 fingers.
Yeah,
The
2
visor.
fingers. Yeah, good. And then we check 10 seconds, and lady, you have to check to the chest. So we do it again. Yeah, then you can see the chest rising. And there are 2 options. There is a breathing, it means he's not dying. Or there is not a breathing, it means he's dying. Thank you. You can sit.
Awesome.
Now we go all watching you alone. No.
No.
Okay. Now there are persons they collapse. What we do? We check the area if it's safe. And then
You call the 112.
yeah.
Send somebody to call the 112.
Yeah.
And then are you alright?
No responding.
You're responding.
Can you call the 112 for me?
Then we call 112, yes.
Yeah. Good and clear.
And we check the breathing. Flat hand on the forehead, 2 fingers under the chin, chin rising. Hold it. Yeah, hold it. Hold it.
Yeah.
And then,
2 fingers.
yes.
He's not breathing.
Then it means he's dead. When he is breathing, yeah, I will
Go to
learn
that
you
one
so.
first. Yeah, later on.
Thank you. You can sit. You can do it again.
Oh, mommy tried this. Oh, yeah.
When I are on the picture, I do this. Because then they don't see my belly. Okay, we go again.
You check the area if the area
Yes,
is safe.
we check the area if the area is safe.
Then we ask, are you okay?
Yes, we ask, are you okay? He's not responding.
Then we call the 112.
Yeah, then we call 112.
Yeah.
And then they ask, is there a breathing, madam? Flat hand on the forehead, 2 fingers under the chin, chin rising, and check the breathing. 10 seconds. Feel airstream to your coach.
To your cheek.
Cheek.
No, you don't go there.
And see the chest rising. When there is a breathing, you know he's not dead. Then we have time to think. And we have time to wait for the ambulance service. When there is not a breathing, we start immediately chest compressions. Thank you, you can sit down. Yeah?
Then if it's breathing, no sense. You start this.
Yeah, when he is breathing, it means he's not dead. So we have then time. There is another problem so when we have find out he don't breathe, then we need to give quick chest compressions. First, so we saw there is no breathing, we have to do immediately chest compression, CPR. Yeah? How do you do that? The heel of the hand, you put it in the center of the chest. Yeah? That's the first one. The heel of the hand. Then you place your other hand on the bottom one and you lock your fingers, interlock your fingers. Yeah? What you do, you bring your shoulders above the chest. You lock your arms straight. You put your back one straight and put your whole body above the body of the person. And then you push the chest 5 till 6 centimeter downstairs. Yeah? And that's lots of centimeters. 5 till 6 centimeter. After when you press, you release. And that's also necessary because when you release, the heart will fill with blood again. So you give chest compressions, you release, chest compressions, you release. And we have to avoid leaning because when you lean on the chest, the heart will not fill up again. Yeah? And when you are tired, you go leaning. So it's also necessary when there are lots of people to change sometimes with chest compressions. So when there are fresh other people, let them do also chest compressions because then you can avoid leaning. Yeah, because it's very heavy to give good chest compressions and you get short of breath and yeah, you will tired and that's not a problem because yeah, it's heavy to do. But we have to change sometimes with chest compressions with another fresh person. Yeah? Sometimes when you give chest compressions, you hear the sounds of broken beans. So then you have to think one thing, I do good chest compressions. Then don't think, I give less chest compressions. No, when you heard that sound, it means I give good chest compressions and continue. Yeah? Dus don't put minder deep.
Don't slow down.
Don't slow down, but go ahead. Yeah? The sound of broken beans is a good sound.
Broken bones.
You mentioned it. Yeah. For the chest compressions. Yeah? It means I do a good job. Yeah? It's not all the time that you hear that sound. Sometimes it happens and that's the reason why I tell it. Yeah? We do 30 chest compressions. Continue. And after the 30 chest compressions, we give 2 rescue breaths. And how we do that? Before you can give good rescue breath, you have to open the airway first. Because when you don't open the airway, you give a breath and the tongue will block the airway. So first you have to open the airway. Then you, with your fingers, you put the nose close. Because when you don't do that, you breathe in and the air will go to the nose out. And that's not what you want, you will it to the lungs. So put the nose closed. Yeah. Then you open your mouth wide. Yeah. And then you cover the mouth of the victim. Yeah. When you, oh, you said that. Yeah. This is the most reason why people think, I don't like resuscitation because I have to give rescue breath. But rescue breath are very necessary. Why? Here in this area there's 21% of oxygen. My body needs 5. So when I breathe out, 16% of the oxygen I will breathe in the victim. Yeah? And the victim needs oxygen. So it's necessary to give the rescue breath. There is one reason to don't give it.
Yes.
And the reason is when there is blood in the mouth. When another person has blood in the mouth and you don't know the victim, then it's a reason to don't give rescue breath. What you can do is give only chest compressions. Yeah? So when you see a lot of blood in the mouth, give chest compressions, and when you are by the 30, go further. So 30, 40, 50, 60, and don't stop. And wait till the ambulance service is there, because they have equipment to give good rescue breath without problems. Yeah?
What's the meaning of the blood in the mouth then?
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you have a high infection reason, so HIV or something. So when you have that, it's not a problem for the breathing. But when you don't have it, then is it necessary to for your own safety to don't do that. So
What is that blood? What is the blood is coming out? What is the reason that the blood is
maybe he
coming out?
fell downstairs with the head on the ground, or he fell with the head on the ground on the floor, and you see blood, or other reasons. He had a lung bleed, so there is bleed from the lungs. That's also a reason that people sometimes die. So when you see it, blood, don't give rescue breath. Yeah? But when he's not breathing, give only chest compressions. And when you are by 30, go further. Yeah? Till the ambulance is coming. One rescue breath, it's about 500 milliliter. Yeah? So when you give a lot of air, you will give air to the stomach. We check if it's safe.
Yeah, it's safe.
Then we check the shoulders and we ask, are you alright?
Are you alright?
He's not responding.
No responding.
Call somebody for me, 112,
Please call now.
please.
Oh.
Put it on loud. I'll get the AE.
Yeah.
And get the
Okay. Yeah.
Flat hand on the forehead, 2 fingers under the chin, chin lift, and check the breathing. 10 seconds.
No.
Okay, it means he's dead. Start resuscitation. Interlock the fingers, the heel of the hand to the chest, and give 30 chest compressions. Deeper. Yeah. Deeper. Yeah. Yeah. Very good. Very good. I will hear you a sound. That's the tempo of the chest compressions. Yeah. Oh, that's not a normal breathing. The person on the phone will tell 1, 2, 3, 4, the same like this tempo.
Like second count.
Yeah.
Like second.
They continue. So they help you on the phone. Close the nose. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, good. And continue.
Very well. I'm not very well.
It's heavy. To give good chest compressions, continue. So we need more people to help. Okay, thank you, thank you. We do it again, same procedure from the beginning.
I can help you, huh?
Oh no.
Hey.
Okay, we go. So an AED, what you have to do when you get them, put them on. I have 3 types of AEDs with me, and this is these are trading AEDs. So this is the on-off button. This is the shock button. So when he advises a shock, this will flashing. Then only you can give the shock. When he is not flashing, you can do this, but you don't give a shock. Only when he is flashing, you can give the shock. This is another one. How does this work? There is not an on-off button, but when you open the AED, he will switch on. Yeah, by himself. So all the AEDs with a front you can open. It's necessary to put it good open. Why? When I don't put it good open and I do it like this, he fell down and then he switched off. So always put it open and do it good open, so he cannot fall down and switch off. Yeah? This is another one. These AEDs have an on-off button, and here in Dutch trekken or pull. And when you pull it open, he switch on. Or when you put this button, he switch on. And here you have the shock button, and all the same procedure. When there is a shockable rhythm, this one will get flashing, and then he is available to get a shock. But you need the shock when you have a shockable head rhythm. What do you find more? You find pads. Sometimes on the back side, sometimes under the front, sometimes under the when you open it. But you find pads. And on that pads there are pictures. I will take real ones from my work. And why I will show it you is on the pads are pictures, and there you can see where you have to put the pads on the chest. So you open the clothes, and most of the times by the AED is a scissor, and you can cut the clothes, and you cut from here till here, and when you have a BH, bra, you open it, you cut, and then you put it away. And what you have to do is only to check the signs on the pads. And when you see this one, on this moment I hold it in the good position. When I hold it like this, there is not my head, there are my feet, so you have to put it like this. Yeah? And where did we have to put them?
Can you show it please to the camera?
You put it here. Yeah?
Okay.
This one shows where you have to put this one. Yeah. So when I hold it like this, there's not my head, but my feet, so you hold it like this. And where I have to put them? Here. Under the arm. And there is what he said. Here is the arm, and put it under here. So you put one here and the other one there, and between these 2 pads is our heart. Our heart is the same like our fist. He's here in the middle with this part to the left. So, but the heart lay down here in the middle. You put this one here. You put this one there. And when you give a shock, the heart will be inside between the pads. So when there is a shockable heart rhythm, you put the button, and there is go energy from this one to this one, and it will try to reset the heart. Yeah? So what you have to do, switch the AED on, use scissors and make the chest free, and put the pads like the pictures on
Shows,
the pads.
yeah.
That's
Okay.
only what you have to do.
So you put it, you don't need to open it.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
it's
still
like
there.
you
Okay, yeah.
do
Oh,
this
you
and
do.
then you
Okay.
put it here.
Okay.
And this one, you put it off and then you put it here. When you place this one and you place this one, the computer sees, hey, I can check the heart rhythm, and then he immediately starts to check the heart rhythm.
Okay.
Yeah? You can do nothing wrong. That's
The design.
most important part to know. Then what you have to do, and most of the AEDs here in the Netherlands talk Dutch.
Okay.
So that's all. Can you understand Dutch?
Yes.
Yeah, everyone?
No, we understand
Little
Dutch.
bit. So we gonna train also in Dutch. And why? The chance that you take it out and he talk Dutch is very high here in the Netherlands. So then it's good to practice with the Dutch. Yeah?
Yes.
But it's not difficult.
Yeah.
So what you do, you put one, you put it on the one, and then he go check if there is a shockable heart rhythm. And is the answer yes, there is a shockable heart rhythm, then he advise a shock. Then he make the AED ready to shock and the button will flashing. And that's the moment that you put that button. Yeah?
So if I may understand, with the AED is easier than
Together. You need it together.
Together.
Yeah. But I have here two you can switch the lights. These are pork hearts. There's no human hearts, but they look like the same as human hearts.
Yeah.
And what you see here, I told you about the arteries.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. These are the arteries around the heart. So when there is a blood occlusion here, we call it a heart infarct.
Yeah.
When you have it, this will blocked. And what happened then? All the parts behind that artery don't get oxygen. And that's the reason why you get chest pain. Okay? Because this has happened. Yeah? Sometimes, when this will blocked, and sometimes you get chest pain, but sometimes you get dangerous heart rhythms. And then you collapse. So when the heart will beating, you get chest pain, but sometimes there is too many damage to the heart, then he will stop beating, and that's what happened inside, and that's the reason why you collapse. Yeah. This video will show you a shockable heart rhythm in 5 minutes, but that's very long, so we make it shorter. The whole video normal do 5 minutes, but now 10 seconds. So we play in 10 seconds, 5 minutes. And you can see what happened. The heart will swallow up and he is like trembling. So this is what happened. The heart is fibrillating. So AED means the A from automatic, he checked the rhythm by himself.
Yeah.
The E means extern, we put the pads outside the body, and the D is defibrillator. So you have to fibrillate, then you can defibrillate. So this is fibrillating heart rhythm. So
why is it behaving like this? Because the artery is something is closed.
yeah,
There's a blockage.
yeah, and that's the reason why this happened. But on this moment, when you see this, the heart is not beating, and you lose your consciousness, and you don't have a breathing.
Okay. When
But
it happens like that,
yeah,
the next is a heart.
and that's the reason why you have to put quickly as possible the AED on the chest, so he can check if this rhythm is available. And when this rhythm is available, then is the chance to survive high when you give the shock. So that makes it the reason why we have to why we have to use an AED by a heart attack. Yeah. The next video shows the same heart rhythm in combination of the shock. Then you see what happened. So the same problem, the heart is fibrillating, it's not pumping. On this moment he's in a resuscitation, you put the pads on the outside of the body, he sees, we give a shock, and when you give a shock you reset the heart in the hope he will beat again.
So that's
Yeah?
beating again.
This is beat again, so now the heart is pumping. The problem is always that when you change the heart rhythm, the block is still there.
Yeah,
So the person needs quick to the hospital, and then they can open the artery again. We call it in Dutch dotteren.
Doctor,
Yeah.
doctor,
We go to the artery here, or here in the lease, and then we go to the heart, and we can open the artery again. Yeah? And we call it dotteren. So first important thing is to change the heart rhythm in normal rhythm, and when that is possible, then we can fix the problem.
So this is a temporary solution.
Yeah. So the heart is fibrillating, we put the AED, on, and when we see the heart rhythm, it's fibrillate, we can defibrillate it with the AED. Yeah? That's what we do. And now you see it inside, so we don't see the person inside, but this is what happened inside the body on that moment. When you have this, the chance of survival is very high, when we are quick. And then it's necessary that bystanders like you recognize this problem and we can change it quick. The next video shows we don't give chest compressions, but only a shock. Dus we have a fibrillating heart, and then you see it didn't work. So the heart is fibrillating. We don't give chest compressions, we use only the AED, we give a shock, and it didn't work. We know this. So this makes it very important that we need good chest compressions in combination of the AED. And that's what we learn here. So when this works, we could tell you, oh, welcome to the resuscitation course. When there is a heart attack, go to the AED, put the AED, give a shock and do nothing. But that didn't work. We need good chest compressions in combination with the AED. Oh.
But you are giving heart compression, you're giving the AED, and so there's a blockage in the artery.
Yeah.
Isn't that a waste of time?
No,
and effort?
no. That's the second part what we have to fix. When the heart rhythm is normal, then the second problem is to fix it and to open the artery again.
So that must happen within a short time, or?
No, to open the artery within 90 minutes. So 1.5 hours. So we have time.
So the ambulance takes you to the surgery.
Yeah, to the hospital.
And then
They come to our emergency and we say, hey, there is a heart problem, and then we fix it to go to the, we call it hartkatheterisatie, to open the artery again. But till that time, it's always possible that the person get in a resuscitation again, because when the block is not open, the same problem can come back again. So time is muscle. Time. All the things is time. Yeah. Questions about it?
So, okay, we're giving 32.
Yeah.
After this, can you go back to the, the exercise again?
Yeah, I will show you how it looks like. Yeah, good plan? Okay.
No, I'm wondering, at what time do we begin to use the AED?
When he is available.
Okay. So it's a supplement.
We start the resuscitation, and when the AED is available, a person go outside, take it, or the police came inside with the AED, or a citizen in the area came inside with the AED. When the AED is available, put it quick on the chest, because then he can check if there is a shockable heart rate.
Okay.
And you still have to start with the
Yeah.
resuscitation first.
Yes,
But
always.
let me ask you, if you have AEDs, I have it at home, so I don't need to press, I don't need to do all these things.
Yeah, again.
If I have the AED at home,
Yeah,
so I don't need to press and do
Yeah.
this, I don't need to do it.
yes. You do first to start up the resuscitation.
No, it's not my question. I said, if I have
AD at home.
Yeah.
and this kind of thing happens,
Must it go through the
am I going to
resuscitation?
do the
Yeah,
do it
the
or
pressing and
I
all
will
that.
not do it. I'll just use only the AED.
That's the
Yeah.
question.
You do it, that's what he's saying.
Yeah, you do everything. So also resuscitation
And
and
plus the
rescue
AED.
Plus AD.
and AED. Yeah. This it's
But
not
why,
only
why is it? Why must you do resuscitation?
When you have the AED.
When you have the
AD.
Yeah, why?
Yeah.
why?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the AED can only change the heart rhythm
Oh, okay.
and do not pumping the heart. So you need to pump by yourself the heart, but only the electric heart rhythm can be changed by the AED.
So why change the electric
Yeah,
heart rhythm?
I'm supposed to be electric.
Why change it? Why change the heart rhythm?
Electric, not even nothing.
When he is fibrillating,
Yeah.
he's not pumping. Yeah? And with the AED, you can change the heart rhythm from fibrillating to
Yeah.
pumping.
How do you see that fibrillation outside? Like,
Yeah.
you know, the person is trembling or what? How do you know?
No,
This one,
you
It's
know
okay.
it with the AED. The AED checks.
AED checks that.
In the olden days, they don't have all this content in the olden days. Only use hand and they don't have machine in the olden days.
Yeah.
No.
So how do you survive?
In other countries,
That's what they were
Yeah,
doing.
they don't
Yeah.
have all the stuff.
yeah,
But
then
that's why
is
they
the
are dying.
survival
That's why
rate
they are
low.
dying. That's what you say.
And that's what I said here in the Netherlands. We have a high survival rate because we have lots of this.
Yeah, everywhere.
And yeah, other countries you don't have this, and that's one of the reasons why the survival rate is low. Not the only reason, because the healthcare is always the ambulance care. It makes sense.
Okay, that means the AED is only for the nurses, or you can have
No,
it, you
you
can have
can
it by
buy it.
yourself. You can buy it by yourself at Kipatu.
Can you buy
You
it?
can buy
That's
by-
what she's asking. Can you buy it and keep for yourself?
Yeah, it's possible.
Is it expensive?
How much is it?
Around 1,200 euro.
That's a lot of money.
But it's cheaper than life.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's-
It's cheaper
Yeah.
than life.
yeah.
But it's quite common everywhere anyway.
No,
But-
but
No,
you're talking about third world country, then you buy it. You buy it from
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah,
third
but
world
then
country.
you have an AED in another country, but it's the total package. It's also the healthcare outside,
Yeah.
and the ambulance care.
Yeah.
It's also how quick you are in a hospital where they can open the heart artery. So when this is not possible, and then only this is not making sense.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a combination. So
Oh,
use
okay.
this and the total package.
Yeah.
Good ambulance service, good healthcare, the possible to
temporary
get the
solution
yeah.
until the surgeons take over.
That we don't
Yeah.
have in Africa
Yeah.
because you can still take the person to the hospital and the doctor is not available.
Yeah.
That
And
is
then
it.
when that is the situation and the doctor is not have not the good equipment and knowledge to
Yeah.
open the artery,
Yeah,
it's the
exactly.
same total package what needs.
Yeah.
After that, the person go to the intensive care unit.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
heard
yeah,
a story
yeah, yeah.
of a person 3 months.
Yeah.
So the total package is necessary. But here in the Netherlands we have it. So that's
There is one footballer. He's still in the coma since 3 years. He's a footballer.
The Moroccan guy.
Yes, he's still opposite my heart up to 93 years. He's still in
yeah.
the coma.
Yeah.
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 Yes, it's a small boy.
No,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like a vegetable now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's still there in the coma since 3 years.
He's
Yeah.
at home now, but it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
vegetable. It's not dead.
No,
Yeah,
he's
then
not.
it's
done by the
He's opposite
machine.
my
Yeah,
house.
but that's what happened.
in the
But
Godan.
the
Close to my house.
persons who get alive,
Yeah.
Oh, then it's not the Moroccan guy.
He is in
here-
the Godan opposite my house.
Yeah.
Oh,
here
okay.
in the
Yeah.
Netherlands, the chance of survival is very high because of this. Yeah.
Join us this and every Sunday at 10 o'clock in the morning at the Rivers of Life Bible Church, where lives are changed by prayer and the Word of God. The address is Rijkersbos number 89A on the first floor. We look forward to welcoming you. Our telephone number is 06260-46432. God bless you and don't be late. Bye.
So Timbuktu, Ghana, Mali, Sumanguru, you know what you show. What you show. So Timbuktu, Ghana, Mali, Sumanguru, you know what you show. Manchester, you know Sumanguru, what you show. Said to do, you know, Wamransa, you know, Yasantua, you know what you show. Yeah, Israel, Ethiopia, what you show.